This is Sir David, the Bard, the Honorable Bard, or maybe the Honorable Sir David. Maybe no honor at all, according to the Mormon comments. I look at the comments. I can still hit them. They're almost 100 a day, and sometimes I read the Mormon ones while I'm sitting on the toilet. I didn't want a conflict in smell, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, the man that wrote me in, it's fun that people will write in that are Mormons, and they don't know what to say. You know, I'm going to give everybody some advice, including myself. When there's nothing to say, the best thing to do is say nothing. Well, the Mormons, they don't listen to anybody. They don't take advice. They believe in the Pele, Ale God, hey, oh God, hear the words of my mouth, and it goes on and on. So this guy challenges me, and I only bring this one up because I think it's funny as hell, and it's typical. I'm not going to respond to the negative Mormon comments because I've got better things to do. I have a happy life, and I have a large enough group that you guys rip them a new asshole every time you say. The way you people leave comments lets us know that David's telling the truth. The way you speak, it speaks for itself. Anyway, he says, why don't you use your real name? I say, well, I don't like my mom's name, Asshat Bard, okay? I've changed my name to protect the innocent. So anyway, what's really fun is you go to their website, and this guy has 0 hits, 0 videos, and he's a Mormon 0, okay? I guess it's what they call a sock puppet channel. I call it a BS channel. But anyway, it's just funny to watch these indefensible people try to defend themselves. And one guy wrote in the other day, I saw a little spot on your shirt. That was lunch 3 days ago. So what? So what? I don't have to dress in a tie. I can sit in a little tiny closet with a DI light. The DI light's working pretty well since I screwed it down tight, yeah. I can sit in shit like this. You can put a suit on and stand at a podium and bow your head and say yes. And then, brothers and sisters, it's so nice to have you here today listening to my bullshit. Friends, well, Mormons, yeah, they could be my friends. I'm not against the Mormons. I think people that join the church have some psychological problems. But anyway, I don't need a podium. I don't even need a clean shirt. I don't need a handsome face. I don't need the choir and the tabernacle organ up behind me and my voice echoing. People come here because there's truth here. The reason that they run from you is the truth just isn't there. You think it's the truth, but only your group thinks it's the truth. The normal population doesn't think that the Mormon prophets over the podium are telling the truth. You don't even tell the truth about how many members are in your church. And you don't say anything that 2/3 of all of your church members are inactive and have been for years and years. And 100,000 of us a year resign after we read the bullshit in your history and Joseph Smith's scam. I see why the Mormons love Ponzi schemes. It's the Joseph Smith syndrome mixed with molesting your children and 14-year-old girls. There's the foundation of the Mormon church. All right, there was another comment that warmed my heart. It was from a lady, and she said she's a single mom, and that she's learning to stand up for herself and not be treated like shit. I think she's probably in a Mormon community, and because she lost her husband, the Mormons think she didn't put out enough. She wasn't obedient. Well, he's probably a drug addict and an alcoholic, beating her and the children, and she leaves, and now the Mormons blame her. Well, men are never wrong. Penises are always right. Penises have the priesthood, and they lay them on you to heal you. So you single moms that are being treated like shit in Utah, you hold your head up, get your hair done, keep your weight down, and don't look like the Mormon women wearing Omar the tent maker's dress. And if you want to wear garments, wear garments. Who cares? But when you bend over, make sure your garments don't show with skid marks on them. I hate that in Walmart. I just hate it, you know, the bending over, picking up screaming, crying kids, 16 of them, and your garments are up your ass, and there's skid marks all over them, and it shows. That's modesty. Well, maybe in a way it is, because there's nothing sexual about you. When men see that, they're going to go, hey, I'm not even going to rape that. So anyway, it's the secret Mormon truth of how to not look sexy. Let your garments have skid marks. That should be a song. Let your garments have skid marks. Well, I may work on that. I need a theme song. You know, I can't play any music on here that is not my own or that I have permission to play. I'd love to have some backup music and whatever, but if there's any of you out there that have a song that you own, that you wrote, and it would fit the Bard, which means any song, even let your garments have skid marks. If you've got that song written, hell, write it in, and I'll somehow record it. I don't know how. Hold the microphone up to the little tape recorder like we used to do in the old days. But anyway, if you have a theme song for me, even if it's a Mormon, I don't want count your many blessings, because I have more blessings than I can count, and the biggest one is getting the hell out of your church, so don't send me that one. And don't send me do what is right, let the consequence follow. I think doing what's right is helping the Haitian people build their their country again. And the Filipino floods and the disasters and the $5 billion mall, you ought to put where the sun don't shine. I've been over there. It's like a ghost town. It's like a ghost town. Anyway, it's the only mall in the world that you pay $50 to sit on Santa Claus' lap, and he's a Mormon, and it's kind of hard to balance on his lap, if you know what I mean. Alright, what's the subject today? The subject today surrounds the lady that wrote to me and said my videos have helped her. You don't know how good that makes me feel. I don't want money. I'm thinking about that. No, I don't want money. I don't want fame. I don't want anything except if my experiences through this medium helps anybody. Man, my life has been well worth living. Well worth living. I just get all excited inside, and peace and joy when somebody says, well, you've helped me this or that, or in some way that I've been a help. I do want to say quickly on a video here that don't let anybody talk you down. Get away from toxic people. If you've got family that say negative things about you, tell them to go screw themselves and go home to your own house and build your own life. That's what I had to do. I got such toxic people in my family. You know, I have to take Pepto-Bismol. No, it's not that one. It's another one. You know, for acidic stomach. I mean, I've got some really sick puppies. So I got away from them. And when I got out of the Mormon church, I had friends leave me. I've got a good friend who's FLDS. He was excommunicated from the LDS church for writing a book. That's all he did. He should have grabbed a 14-year-old. That would have been something to get out for, but writing a book, no. So anyway, he won't talk to me. And he's polite on the phone. He used to come over with his wife, and we'd have a barbecue and things. But, you know, I'm going to use his name, Shane. Shane is being an ass to me because of religion. Well, there's others, and it's sad. And it's hard. I understand you people that are either leaving or have left or are excommunicated or don't believe in the Mormon church. You cannot keep up with the hatred, the fear, and the destructiveness. You're finally saying to yourself, wait a minute, wait a minute. We're screaming and yelling. We're trying to do home teaching. We're trying to teach lessons. We're trying to do service projects. We're trying to make popcorn. When does it end? Well, I'm going to tell you something. When you decide that it ends. You may get lucky and go into Mormon heaven, and you can make more popcorn, and you can chase more naked kids, and you can scream, you can yell, you can slam doors, because you've been trained on earth by the Mormon church. So you may go to Mormon heaven. So those of you, I've told you once in another video that I was a single parent for a year, and I had an 8-month-old baby, and I was a male. Hardest job I ever did in my life. The church women shunned me. The neighborhood shunned me. The school shunned me. Everywhere I went in that Mormon community, I was shunned. Well, I didn't really accomplish a lot in my life until I was able to do these videos. I'm 64 years old. I'll be 65 next month, February. And I was never able to make an impact. Now, I'm going to tell you a funny thing here. My patriarchal blessing says that my tongue... Now, that was just an example of a tongue. It shouldn't have been moving. Let me do that again. There it is. My tongue shall be loosed. Now it's loosed. I don't think he was talking about anything in my private life, because you got to take these comments in context. Anyway, your tongue shall be loosed to testify to the beauties of the gospel. And many shall come to hear you, and amongst those who hear you, many will be converted to the church. Now that's a quote right out of my patriarchal blessing. Now, the patriarch fell down drunk after that. I had to wake him up to get him to do the rest of the thing. And he says, just put your hands on your head and babble, and we'll just write it down as something important. And okay. So anyway, he got part of it right. Many shall come to hear me speak of the gospel. I have almost 300,000 hits here. Maybe before I die I'll have 1 million. That'd be bitching. That'd be bitching. Before I die I have 1 million. Anyway, he got it wrong that they would be converted. I think he meant deconverted, but he was so drunk, he was so old. His wheelchair was going around and around in circles, and he kept saying, give me $10. And I said, well, I did the last time you came around. He says, I'm coming around again, another 10. They don't charge now for patriarchal blessings, but they used to. And the better the blessing you wanted, the more you gave, just like bribing any government. The more you want, the more you give. So, many have come to hear my experience in the Mormon church. And I don't erase, I tell you this all the time, I don't erase my comments because I want you to see what the Mormons are really like. They speak for themselves, folks. Hold on, I have a baby. What? $5. $5? Okay, go watch TV. I'll pay in a few minutes.
Cash?
Not cash. It's always a check with you. Damn Allison. Cash only. She doesn't work, and she knows me really. Cash only. Jesus. It's hard to rip kids off after they get to be smart. So anyway, the patriarchal blessing, I've got a whole video on that. If you want to look at that, look at it. But please, if you're single, you're fat, you're ugly, you have burns all over your face, you have no money, you're sitting out under a tree, and it will say, we'll work for a 14-year-old. That's what they put in Salt Lake. They don't go, we'll work for food. when they're by the freeway passes, we'll work for 14-year-olds, and you got to roll your windows up, and the kids, get down, kids, as you go by. Don't let this world tell you who you are. I let that happen to me for a long time, and they said I was an ass, I was a misfit. I was hired on a job once, and they said, you're a maverick. Well, you're all too young. You don't remember the Maverick program on TV. I think it was James Garner, and he's the only good thing I've ever seen come out of Oklahoma. But anyway, the whole world was telling me, David, the asshat bard. I never really, I was a director of some programs and helped some young people and was creative in those kinds of things. But for a real meaning in life, when one person writes to me and says, you've helped me, I'm a single parent and I'm being abused from the community, and you've helped me stand up for myself and stand up for my kids. Now let me tell you something. I'm in a Mormon community down here in Australia, and most of my neighbors are kangaroos, but most of them are members of the church because they believe in kangaroo courts, a court of love. I have 2 Filipino children that I adopted. I don't let anybody say, do, or anything to my children. My children don't realize that they have dark skins. My wife doesn't realize that in America, many of the Mormons will look down on her because she's Lamanite colored. I have bashed and bashed and bashed. I don't give a shit if it's a school teacher. I don't give a shit if it's junior high. I don't give a shit if it's ooh, I almost said the word where I lived. Oh, down here in Australia. I'll go after the principals. I've gone after the district personnel. One man who crossed me. Now, I had nothing to do with this. I just think it's a poetic justice. One man that crossed me and my kids, 2 weeks after, he was 44 years old, he died of a heart attack. Hey, lay, ail me. Good for him. I had nothing to do with it. Well, maybe the meetings I was in, I don't know. But the point is this: you people like me, you can be fat, you can be ugly, you can be uneducated, but damn, you know what? You're unique. You're unique. I wasn't able to use my uniqueness till these videos. Never. I couldn't ask a question in the Mormon church. Now you hear the 14-year-old who's pissed at me because she's doing the carpet cleaning, and she's banging the carpet cleaning into my door. They're like Mormons. You gotta love them. They think more shit up to bother you. Anyway, be proud of who you are. Take chances in life. Don't be the last one in line. Someone cuts in front of you, you go, hey, 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 didn't your mom teach you any manners? I was next. I've done that. Old ladies. Old ladies. I think I told you this on my cruise last year, or this year, I don't remember when it was. Some lady stood in front of my child in line for the cruise. I was too tired and too old to stand in line, so I was sitting on a chair just watching, and this damn Asian lady and 8 or 10 of her Asian friends, old people, came up and they wanted to take a picture, and so they pushed my child out of line. Well, I'm old, but I'm still fast. I ran over there and go, what the fuck? Oh, I can't say that. I said, what the hell? You push my baby. Oh, no, 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 no. They're matriarchal over there. No, no, no. Bam. Slap that person. Go back to your country. Get the hell out of here. You don't have, your mother didn't teach you any manners. That's my child right there. And they were surprised because my skin is white and hers is darker. And they go, oh, shit. We've offended an American. We can offend dark-skinned people, but an American, he'll kick our ass, which I did. I said, I don't care if you speak English or not. Leave my child alone, or I'm going to call the police. She was standing here before you were born, old lady. Leave her alone. Now, you young people, and you divorced ladies, and you divorced men, don't let anyone treat you like shit. No. Everyone in this world came to the table with different talents, abilities, and gifts. You may not be good looking, like I am. You may be ugly, like I'll never be. And you might be the greatest painter. You know, I saw that Susan Boyle gal, the night she sang, which I don't watch a lot of TV, 10 or 12 hours a day, but not a lot. Anyway, I saw Susan Boyle sing, and I just got goosebumps. I said to myself, God, that sounds like a damn angel. And look at the woman. She'd have to sneak up on a glass of water to get a drink. And she was the mother of all of the kids' jokes. Your mother's so ugly, etc. What a wonderful talent. She didn't get to use it till she was in her 50s or 60s, whatever she was. So please, if I can give you anything, let me give you hope. Colonel Sanders of Kentucky Fried Chicken didn't do shit in his life till he was 65. I didn't do shit in my life till I was 64. If you're older than that and you're still a failure, may I suggest Valium in a 55-gallon drum. You might be 68, you might be 70. I don't know. I don't know when our talents will blossom out. And you can't put an age on it, and you can't put a stage on it. My kids were sitting under banana trees in the dirt and mud and rocks and eating a handful of rice a day, whatever it's been, 5 years ago. Now, that damn 14-year-old, she's so spoiled, she made $100 last week babysitting. She's got her own room, her own bathroom, her own cable, her own TV, her own ceiling fan, her own air conditioning, her own room that is secured and tight where she can lock the doors, her own study area, and you know, she's a straight A student. And whatever, a few years ago she was sitting in the Philippines, couldn't smile, couldn't speak a word of English. Now let me tell you something. My family and my life, please let me share that with you, that you don't know when your time is going to come. You don't know. And do some people never have a time? Not really. I think most of us have a time. Now I'll tell you where you and I look and say, well, they didn't have their 15 minutes of fame and glory. It's because we gave up. That's it. It's because we gave up. It was coming towards us, but we go, oh shit, I'm so ugly, I'm so stupid, I'm just going to lay in bed, take drugs, and drink. Well, there you didn't amount to anything. But if you hold your, you Mormons, put your shoulder to the wheel, it'll tangle your arms. We need to put our nose to the grindstone, our shoulder to the wheel, our weenie in our pants, and stay working, and stay trying to find a job, and stay excited. Learn something. Go take a computer class. Go take a quilting class, and then suddenly you own your own little business selling quilts. So please, take my family as an example. Remember, as you're going up the ladder of success in life, how you treat people, because you're going to have to meet them coming back down. 15 minutes of fame is 15 minutes of fame, but it makes us all feel good. I have 2 children out there right now that had nothing. Nothing. Give them a little opportunity, bam, they blossom like a flower. Same way with my wife. My wife couldn't hardly read a word of English when she came in this country 5 or 6 years ago. She never had a checkbook, never had a bank account, never had a job, never had a bicycle, never had a Christmas tree, never had a toy, never had dental, never had medical, and barely could pay for a uniform. I don't know, in the Philippines they all go to school in a uniform because the parents can't afford regular clothes. And was jammed in a class of 60 kids, all speaking 3 different languages. When I wrote to her and I was dating her on the telephone, I asked her, I said, are you poor? And it took a while for her to respond. And then she wrote back to me and she said, no, I'm not poor. As long as a human being has hope, they're never poor. That's one reason I married the girl. Well, here we go again. Hold on. Yes? What?
How many more minutes?
How many more minutes? 2 or 3. Like a clock. She said, no, I'm not poor because I have hope. And I married the girl, largely based upon that particular statement. Yeah, she's cute. Yeah, she was advertising in a bathing suit, and yeah, you know, there were other attractive things about her. But when I saw that attitude and that strength, I went right for it. My other American wives, they never had that strength, and I missed it. So, if your time has gone by, it's your own damn fault. You gave up too soon. You know, and I'm talking about a guy that's tried to commit suicide 5 times here. You know, I'm not talking like I read this shit out of a book. I lived it, folks. I gave up. Thank God, I guess, or thank the atheist God, or just thank fate, whatever. I didn't die, and I was able to do these videos. Now I feel like $1 million. I feel like $1 million. My time had come. And my children and my wife's time has come. And now we're going to immigrate their parents into this country who've never had anything. They don't even have their own teeth. All rotted out. I'm going to bring them here, and I'm going to give them the last 4 or 5 or 7 years of their life. What I have. What I can share. Because my standards as an atheist are higher than the Mormons. My standards of the atheist I'm not trying to get Jesus points. I'm not trying to get into the celestial kingdom. I don't give a shit about any of that stuff. And you know what? This morning I got thinking, I ain't going to the judgment. How can they force me to go to the judgment? If there is a judgment, I'm going to say, hey, I'm excused. I'm going over and sitting by a tree. What, are they going to send soldiers over and beat on me and drag me over to Jesus? What would Jesus do? Anyway, have hope. Try. Try. And when you're sick and you're tired and you can hardly get out of bed, get up and try again. And I'm telling you from experience, not from religion. God's not going to bless you. You know what? You'll bless yourself. You will do more for yourself than Jesus can do in a million years. You want to pray to God, or, you know, have little animals to pray to? I don't care. You know, if a greater power, whatever helps you, nothing wrong with that. You want to be a Mormon, nothing really wrong with that. But if they beat you down, there is something wrong with it. Get the hell away from that kind of an attitude. So wait. Work and wait. My dad always said, David, the bard, if you want more money, work more. Work harder. Well, I learned that from my dad. So if any of you are out there struggling, too many kids, too much sickness, you know, I have quad bypass surgery. I can show you right here, the scar. You know, they cut me wide open. I have diabetes. And I take, you know, almost 100 units of insulin a day. I have bipolar disorder. And it took me 10 years to finally get the right medication for that. It hasn't made me smart, but it's made me decent enough that you can listen to me. If I was on here without the medication, I would have 0 hits, just like the Mormons. Anything I said would be stupid, just like the Mormons. You're worth it. Don't worry about Jesus. Don't worry about Elohim. Don't worry about Muhammad. Don't worry about the Buddhists and Hindu. Don't worry about religion. Just get out of that damn bed every day. If you can walk 2 blocks, 1 block, just across the staircase, knock on the door of a neighbor, anything I can do to help you, and you're there in a wheelchair, you're going to feel better and you're going to be better. And pretty soon, your 15 minutes of glory will open up. I can promise you that. I've lived too long, folks. I'm 65. I've had 5 marriages, 14 children. I know what the hell I'm talking about. I know what the hell I'm talking about. You hang in there. You live the best life that you can, and you will be a happy and a joyful person. Thank you.